Hello, hello. Let me see which lighting is better. Okay, this should be good. So, hello guys, how are you? I hope all is well. I hope everybody's good. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and and a wonderful weekend. I hope that things are good. Um, as you can see, the wonderful topic we have for today. It's about self worth. A lot of times we don't realize how much we're either missing or not properly contemplating our self worth. A lot of times we allow other people to walk over us and and we don't even realize it. Just in the name of love, trying to not hurt someone else's feeling, you end up hurting your own feeling. So that's not cool. You're trying to not hurt, you know, your friend because, they may be sensitive about certain subject, certain things, but here you are, you're hurting your own self um, in the process of not hurting your friend. Not the best of thing, but a lot of us do it. It might not be all of us because some of us have our own things going on. You may find some people that they say may be selfish or they are self-centered, they're only into themselves. And it's not as bad as it sounds because in general in life, you really are supposed to be into yourself. You're supposed to learn about yourself, um, learn more things every day and grow. So as you do that, you just keep on growing. And I'm not talking about ego self-centered, someone who's just like, who's just manipulating everybody, who's just about themselves, who would care less if you're dying and they would cross over you, they will jump over you to just go get ice cream, you know. So self-esteem is something that's just as relative to that. Sometimes, in looking for a definition, you can see that they put self-worth and self-esteem as the same, but um there may be a little bit difference because your self-worth is much more like how you view yourself. And by having self-worth, you know, you can do certain things and you view yourself certain way. But self-esteem is much more like the confidence you find in things. You know, finding the confidence to say no. You know, you can relate it as well to self-worth, but it's not like we're trying to make a difference, but there may be a little bit of a difference when you're really looking at it. Um, let's see. Sometimes, in terms, they might be like, they make it as though self-esteem and self-worth are just like equal, you know. But why am I yawning so early? I don't know. Maybe I'm past my bedtime again. um, self-esteem, as I said, is much more like the confidence in yourself. Um, and your self-worth is much more, you know, your worthiness, your value. Um, like you're not waiting for other people's validation for you to go to school or applying for a new job or moving to a new city, anything, Um, for example, also if you were to go to a game and you lost or you win, it's like, okay, it's like no big deal, you know. Um, it's like, are you good enough for yourself? It's like, okay, did I make the best of myself? Did I do the best that I could? Yes, okay. So as uh the Haitian leader said, the best leader said, I'm sufficient, you know, to myself, I'm okay with my decision. I forgot um specifically how the quote went. Oh, if I could grab if I could grab this. It was a really nice quote. I approve of myself, and that suffice me. So I thought that was like a really, really, good quote. That we should time to time remind ourselves that, I approve of myself, and that suffice me. And that's a great affirmation, that you can do every day when you're up on your feet and you just say, I'm up. You know, um, again, I approve of myself, and that suffices me. 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 So you could just keep telling yourself that, sometimes once you're up, especially if you're like a young person, you residing at home with your family, and sometimes you do things that they don't approve of you. I'm not saying go crazy and said that I said to approve yourself, but I'm saying sometimes they don't understand where you coming from, especially if you're an artist. um, you you want to dance, you want to sing, and you feel like you're getting there, but for them, they feel like you should be in school trying to be a medical doctor, a nurse, a lawyer. you know in a lot of culture, they don't view um, art as a career. Art is a pastime. It's not necessarily a career. Though, if the person paid attention, they should be like, well, I do watch TV, I listen to music. All that is art. So sometimes I don't know what's going through the people's head, when they come up with certain things, or when they have certain judgments. You're like, are you even thinking? All of these things, you have a beautiful mural in your neighborhood. That was an artist that painted it. But yet again, you're an artist and they don't approve of you. They constantly want to put you down. They want to laugh about you. So you have to be able to build enough confidence to remind yourself that I approve of myself, and that suffices me. All right. And another thing is like self esteem, you can compare it to a little bit of a paranoia. Okay. It's like, let's say, you go to a party, and the minute you enter the room, you're already like, "Ugh, look at how these girls are looking at me. Look at them over there. You're gonna have to pardon me. I'm doing this like at 1 o'clock, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. But I just really wanted to do it, so bear with me. Um, So yeah, so imagine like, someone who goes to a party and they're like, oh, look at those girls over there. They looking at me. They're probably looking at my jacket. I don't know what's wrong with them, why they looking at my jacket. And it the girls were just thinking, "Wow, that's a beautiful jacket." Once you get closer to them and they're like, "Oh my god, that's a beautiful jacket," and it works with you. It's very good. It's very nice how you wore it with, the yellow and this and oh wow, my god, and your shoes. Oh my god, this is beautiful, you know? And in your head prior to meeting them, you're just going crazy. So, self esteem, low self esteem can be lack of paranoia. So, you're seeing things that are not even there. Even when they're not there, you're seeing them. Um, and that lack of self esteem can lead you to feel unworthy, you know? So, and it's of course it's a train, and feeling unworthy now can lead you to more to that low self-esteem, and you just keep on going in circle. It doesn't You don't even know what came first. Um it just keeps on going in a circle. So, it's important to have self-worth, because self-worth is what help you to make good decision, because you're using your own judgment. Sometimes when you forget to use your own judgment, or you're afraid to use your own judgment, and you try to use someone else's judgment, and eventually that can lead you to more problems than you had before. Or just like to when people are leading you to make decisions, they leading you to make decisions that are not only good for you but mostly good for them. So after you make the decision, it may not feel so much like it was meant for you. So that's why it's important for you to have enough self-worth to make your own decisions, because then you can make decisions that's going to be good for you, that's gonna help you to move forward and do what you need to do. um and you can also make your own decision based on your own wants and needs. And as a leader, if you're a leader in your field, you want to have self-worth, you want to have self-esteem, because you want to make good quality decisions. When you're not able to make good quality decision, therefore you're not going to be perceived as a good leader, because good decisions are needed, you know for a company to move forward, for a corporation to make progress. There have to be good decisions so they can keep on moving forward. A lot of companies that closed, it's not because they weren't good, but it was just not too many good decisions were made. Like when Blockbuster, and also I can't talk. When Blockbuster made a decision not to buy Netflix, didn't make a quality decision, because today, not even long after they made that decision, look at Netflix. They just blew up, and Blockbuster is completely out of business. I mean, if you ask these kids today, this was from Blockbuster or something, and whatever, they're gonna be like, Block who? They don't even know what that is. So it is important to make quality decisions as a leader so you can be respected. And when you have that, you know, balance, that good self-worth, it also gives you the confidence that you need to get any job done. You know, if you needed to go on top of the mountain to go take care of whatever business, let's say you were in an area and they say, the treasure is at the top of the building, listen, you'll be able to go do it because you know what? You have the self-worth and the self-confidence to know, you know what, I can do this. And at the same token, if you didn't have the confidence to do it, you would have known, like, listen, according to my self-worth, I'm not trying to fall off, 100 floors of building. I don't do well with heights. Let's hire someone to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not able to, you don't know how, you do what you need to do. At the end of the day, what's important is that you got the job done. All right. And continuing with that, autonomy, as I was talking earlier about, making your own decision, that also falls on that, you'll have better autonomy at work, at home, or if you have to work in group, whatever it is, wherever you go, you'll be able to have the confidence to say, you know what, yeah, this is gonna work out. I can do this. I don't need people's validation. I don't need people to tell me, oh yeah, you sound good. You can come to the choir, but you'll know yourself. You'll be able to recognize yourself if it's something that you can or cannot do. And be sure that it may not be as easy sometimes because sometimes you're going to be tested just like anything else in life, that you are, or maybe there will be tests from your friends, your family, and sometimes even from your own self. And the point is, when those challenges come, what will you do? Are you going to quit? You're going to run? You're going to bend? Or will you stand? Because this is when really that we come to conclusion of who really has it. When something comes, some people are like, oh my God, no, not another flood, and they're gone. Instead of saying, oh, okay, seems like there's a flood coming. All right, go get the bags. Let's fill them up with sand, with soil, whatever it is that they use, rocks, stones, whatever. Let's put them around. Let's do this. Let's, you know, whatever needs to be done. But some people, before the minute they see that things are about to go bad, they take off. They don't even want to deal with it. So when you're getting tested, when it's gonna be your time to get tested, what will you do? Will you run away, or will you understand that you're just being tested, and that's okay, and all you have to do is handle it, you know? Maybe this was not a good idea. I forgot the name of this thing. It's like hibiscus. And this is what's causing me that, you know. So pardon me, stay with me, be patient with me. Okay. I need something to drink. It seems like it was the good thing because it was like working my throat. It was like perfect. But then after when I'm done, it just leaves that, if you drink cranberry juice, it does that, you know? Yeah, so that's what's happening with me. Okay. All right. See? Okay. Okay. I try to like pinpoint what I want to talk to you, and as I pinpoint them, I have to like remember what I was thinking about. So let's keep going. Um, at times when talking about such topic, you gotta like take a minute, take a moment to think about your own self worth. What are some value or devalue statements that you say to yourself when no one is around, no one is watching, when you're on your bed or in your room, in the bathroom, getting a shower? What are some things that you say um, when no one is around? Are there things that need to be addressed to be corrected, or are they um, praises that can be heard in public? Sometimes for me, when no one is around, I like to say my affirmations. It's good to say your affirmation. I say them in my heart, but sometimes I like, when I get some alone time and I can say my affirmations. I can, say I approve of myself, and that suffices me. Sometimes it's good you say it in your heart, but sometimes I just like to hear me say it. I just like to hear it from my own self. So with all that, excuse me, how do you perceive rejection? If something happens, where you have a rejection, do you beat on yourself? Okay, now I'm having a hiccup. Everything is going wonderful. Um, do you beat on yourself? Do you feel like you have lost value? Um, how do you feel? You know, how do you feel when something like that happen? How do you feel? Do you feel the same? Do you feel like, listen, I just don't care? How do you feel? Um, when it comes time that you are lacking a little bit of that perfection, that impeccable ideal that you have for yourself, and then all of a sudden something happens. Imagine that you work so hard to finally buy this house, and then all of a sudden, like, a little while ago, couple weeks, is it even 2 weeks ago, that there was this flood and everywhere was flooded, and people, I mean, water went up in people's home as if it were a river. You could literally use your canoe inside of your own home. You could use your own boat inside of your own home. That's how high the water was in many places. So when those moments come, when you lack perfection, when you fail a course that you were taking, that you were supposed to pass to get your license so you can start working, um, things like that can attack your self-worth. Things like that can attack your self-esteem, because it challenges your confidence. It's challenging how you perceive yourself now. It's like, okay, now you fail. Are you still the same person? Or is it suddenly, oh, you're so dumb, you're so stupid? And I'm sure a lot of times you've heard people say things like that, when they go to the store, they went to take care of something, and all of a sudden they start calling themselves name because they just realize that, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. That is so silly. That's so stupid. Listen, it's silly. Sometimes we make mistakes, but it doesn't make you stupid for that, no matter what it is. No matter what it is, it doesn't make you a stupid person. It's just that something happened and it's not the best of things that you wanted. So now you just gotta figure it out. You have to do something different in order for you to be able to move forward constructively, positively. So you don't have to go through that situation again. It's just like a test. If you had failed, you're not gonna go home and cry and do nothing about it. You're gonna go home. You might cry. You might be anxious, you might not understand it, you might be a little confused, but you're going to study harder. You're gonna pick up your books and you're gonna be like, hey, listen, this is serious now. You're gonna go online and look for other things to see how you can better yourself, just so you don't have to continue dealing with this, because it is not the best of things. This is not how you perceive things. This is not what you wanted. That's not the way you wanted it. So there you have it. And how in life, how can you really change something unless you actually recognize, oh my God, there's a problem. We have to address this. How can you change something if you never really recognize it? So bear with me. You know, how can you change something unless you recognize it? Meaning, what needs to be changed? What is it that I'm addressing? What is it that happened? How did it happen? Am I really selfish? Am I really greedy? Am I really a too naive person? Okay, so now how do I change it? Who can help me change it? Where do I look to change it? Is there a course that I can take? Is there a retreat that I can go to in order to address this so it doesn't become a bigger problem in my life and eventually in my family's life? So, um, it is definitely important to recognize your own self, what is going on in your life, to see what needs to be changed. How do you change it? Is it important? How can you um, how can you make it happen? Just remember that every relationship is gonna that comes into your life. They can be a lesson, or they can be that thing you're looking for, or they can be the biggest lesson of your life. So, and I'm talking about relationships that they may be right next to you, right with you, or a bit far from you, or really far away from you. They can all become a lesson in self-worth, um, making you recognize, okay, do I really love myself? Did I really allow that to happen? What else can I do to change it? um how did I allow them to manipulate me, to make me drive all this distance, and then to come back to have issues and nobody's talking to me? No one is answering their phone. Now I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and no one to help me. How did I let them manipulate me to bring a package to them all the way down there, while I could have just put it in the mail for them? How did I allow them to manipulate me to cook for them for a whole week and I didn't even eat properly? How? You know, how did I allow them to make me write all their notes for the class, and here I am, I didn't even have time to finish my own because, I was so stuck into doing their things. Um, so it's like, what are you going to do? Are you gonna allow this relationship to become uh, you know, something beautiful like a butterfly, or is it gonna be something ugly and bitter that's really not good for you. So all that eventually is going to work, is going to equal how you see your self-worth. You know, how do you see your self-worth is what is going to support you into making and doing the right decision. So you would know when someone asks you, they're in Canada and you're in New York, and that's like about 8 hours away from where you are. And they convinced you to come to New to they convinced you to come to Canada to bring a cup they left at your house last time, because when they were visiting, and this cup is their favorite cup. This cup is the cup they drink from. This cup is the thing. They left the cup, and they left I don't know, a piece of clothing, and now they require you um, to bring it to them, and they come up with all kind of excuse of, oh my god, oh, I miss my clothes, that's like my favorite dress, and this cup, excuse me, this cup was a gift, and I really can't drink out of anything else but from this cup. And here you are, you're like, oh my God. And you like empathize, you sympathize. And next thing you know, your car is not even good enough. You already going through your own challenges. You going through change of jobs, and you were like merely making it yourself, and now here you are jumping in the car because you feel so bad to go bring them these items. So it's a bit of how you see yourself. But if you saw your self-worth better, you would understand that, listen, yeah, I'd like to help you, but that's a long drive for me, to do by myself. And I have to work. I can't take time off from work because I already scheduled something next month that I'd like to take time off for. I don't have too many days left. And, so imagine now, because you took time off, you went to serve that person. By the time you get back, now you had to take time from work because it's 8 hours going, 8 hours back. So that's 16 hours. And by the time you went there and sit down and take a break, and maybe you slept there, and by the time you come back, now you can't take time off next weekend to actually go do something you were really going to enjoy, which is a concert of one of your favorite artists, which you already bought the ticket for. So I hope I'm making sense to you now. It's like a lot of times we do things that we don't want to do, and we end up losing so much more than that person would have lost. Let's say you paid for those tickets $500. I mean, something like that is between, I don't know, 12 to, let's say the most, let's say 12 to 25, or even if you want $50, right? Let's say your dress was a pretty nice, designer dress that was like 120, right? So whatever, this and that does not amount to 500. So now you're going to lose $500 just because of, and imagine that these things are things that are not brand new. These are things this person had for like 10 years, you know. It's time for them to go anyway. But when we don't pay attention, people slip through those manipulation that they pretty much like a commercial. They're like subliminal, you know. They just slip through those subliminal manipulation and they make you walk like crazy. They make you run backward, for hours and you don't even realize it because you're so focused. You're so trying to empathize. You so feeling bad for them and you're just like, "Oh my God, what else can I do to help you? Oh my God, I can't believe this happened to you." And blah blah blah. You just go crazy over something that's not even it's not even that big of a deal. It's not even that important. So pretty much ask yourself, what is it that you're doing today? Um, what are you doing today with yourself? Are you building yourself up or are you tearing yourself apart? What do you feel deserving of? So tell me, or tell yourself, what is it that you're doing today with yourself? Are you building yourself up or are you tearing yourself down? Because a lot of times we want to do things, we want to improve our lives, we want to progress, we want to go certain places, and when that doesn't happen as quick as we want, we become upset with ourselves. We want to curse ourselves up. We're the one that's like telling ourselves how silly, stupid, as I was saying earlier, that you are. Look at that was so simple. Why couldn't you just handle this and da 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 da? And we go on and on and on about something that was not really that big of a deal. We go crazy over things that are not really that big of a deal. Let's say sometimes, like, maybe you didn't see it as a big of a deal, and then someone else mentioned something about it, and you not knowing what to do or not having enough self-worth to know, well, that's how you feel. That's not how I feel. Have you seen someone sometimes, they're in the line and they weren't mad. They were just in the line. They don't care. They have their phone and they like going through social media or whatever they're doing in their phone. They didn't even care the line was long. And then there's some crazy one out of nowhere who comes and like, oh my gosh, these people never hire nobody. Oh my gosh, all this money, can you believe it? It's like, oh my God. Oh, can they hurry up? What's taking so long? Oh my God. And now this person who was completely calm, who had nothing to do with anything, now suddenly is upset. They just feed on that energy because they didn't look out for their own self-worth. They didn't look out for their own peace, their own confidence, their own decision. They were not making their own decision. They were just allowing someone else's emotion to direct their lives, and that was unnecessary. So what is it that you feel deserving of? You know, how do you see yourself? You know, um, yeah, tell yourself. And I'd like to share with you some ways to improve your self worth. Okay. I want you to think about it while I take a sip. Another sip. Okay. So, some ways to improve your self worth. I hope you're done taking your notes and thinking through. I know it's like pretty quick, but you can always pause it and do what you need to do. All right. So, some ways to improve your self worth. Okay. Be willing to stand in the gap when you want something important or that's right for you. If you know that you want something, and this is what you want. Let's say you went to a fair, you ever go to a fair with someone and you wanted I don't know, I don't really eat anything, any places. What do they call them? Scone? Do they sell scone? I don't know. I don't know, a hot dog. Okay, you wanted the person wanted a hot dog, but you wanted a sausage. Hopefully they have that at the fair. I don't know. I don't go for food. We go for other things. Oh, I think chicken. They have chicken. Because I think I bought fried chicken for him before. So anyway, so this person wanted a hot dog and you wanted sausage or you wanted chicken. But the line was so much longer, and the person was like, "You sure you want this? Let's go get some hot dogs because the line is shorter and it's cheaper and it's quicker." And you're like, you know, yeah, I guess so. But you don't even like that kind of meat. You don't even like a hot dog. The hot dog doesn't fulfill you. You were looking forward to having a sausage, and now here's this person convincing you why you want to get this. Come on. And next thing you know, you abandon it. You abandon the whole idea, and you're like, yeah, you're right. And then you went with the person. So that's not good. If you want something, that's what you want. You go for it. You don't have to keep changing your ideas, your mind, because the person next to you wants to change their mind. Or maybe you both were going to go for the same thing. And then once they realized that there was a line and they changed their mind, they wanted something else. Because they changed their mind doesn't mean you have to change your mind. And by the same token, apply this as needed because sometimes, some people you whatever you say, they just take it like it's written in stone. This is not written in stone. This is something that I'm saying that you can use as you go. You should use your own discretion, when it is that you need to use it. I'm not saying to do this so you could become harsh and hard, that every time someone say they want blue, you say you want red. They say they want red, you say you want blue. Like you don't cooperate with no one. You just always like want to be harsh and hard and everything. No, that's not the point. Like I recall someone one time nearly died because they did not have the gut to say no to something they were allergic to. So everybody was eating at work, and the person was just like, I don't know, so afraid of the boss or something. And they everybody was ordering something, and they were allergic to it. And instead of just saying I'm allergic to seafood or I'm allergic to whatever that was, and they just move along with everybody else, and they were still like, they thought maybe they were just gonna get away with it, but no, your allergy is very high. It's not gonna go away, so you gotta speak up. And another one nearly died because they couldn't simply say no, I can't do that. And when they attempted to do the thing, they passed out. So you got to trust your gut. You got to stand for yourself. You got to stand your ground. You got to take a stand for you, because if you don't, nobody else will. Okay. And another way is dare to indulge yourself in things you enjoy. You know, if biking is what you like, do biking. Don't go jog if jogging is not your thing. So do things that you can actually enjoy, that you actually do enjoy. Sometimes maybe it's an extra hour of sleep that's going to please you, then take an extra hour of sleep. Do it. If it is that extra scoop of ice cream that's going to make you happy, then do it. Today for me it was like, no matter the time, just do the video. It doesn't matter that this thing got you keep yawning, or that you're super thirsty, that you're in pain, that that it hurts. Do the video because it's been a while and that's what you wanted to do. It's a challenge, so you just find a way to deal with it. You just do what you need to do, you know? So so you just do what you need to do. It's not a matter of, what someone else may say. They may be like, "Oh, you look like you're in pain, why don't you go lay down, go." No, sometimes you try to put up with it, and because that's what you want to do. Um, I might not be able to do it every day, but I might choose one day of the week, one day of the month to just do so. You know, other times it might be doing, getting something silly as a lollipop. You know, you feel like having a lollipop um, in a week for 3 days. You feel like having a lollipop at 12 o'clock. Okay, have your lollipop. I wouldn't suggest to have it the whole week, the whole month. But hey, if 2, 3 times you feel like having it and this is not something you do all the time, you just do it. It's like sometimes it's okay to do something you like. It's okay to do something you enjoy. If usually you read one book a month and then all of a sudden you had the um the urge to read 2 books this month, then do so. Find a way. If you have to take your book to the bathroom, while you're sitting waiting, handling your business there, while you're in the bus, while you're in the train, wherever you are, you bring your book to try to read 2 books instead of 1 book a month. So you just do what you need to do. um and also for me, it's like prayer and meditation, meditation, and doing good unto others, even if they are strangers. That's my thing. And also, it's not too late to make a list of some of the things that you enjoy, some of the things that you would want to indulge in, you know, some of the things that maybe you want to do before the year's end. You're like, hey, there's quite a few things, maybe 5, 10, 20 things, because there's a lot of time left. So it is not too late. Make a list of the things that you want to do. Um, Another way to improve your self worth is to schedule time for yourself. You know, schedule time for yourself, be assertive, and say no when someone tries to steal your time. You schedule that specific time, and you say, this is the time for my nails, this is the time for my hair, this is the time for meditation and prayer, this is the time for, maybe there's a day, maybe on Wednesday, this is just my day. This is nobody else's day. That's my day. And I don't want to share with anybody. The morning after 12 o'clock on Wednesday, that's my day. The day is completely mine. It's utterly mine. I'm not sharing with anybody. So be sure to stretch that boundary and let them know that no, I made my list. I schedule my time, and well, you made your list as well, so you're following through. You schedule your time, and you say, you know what, this is what I decided to do, and I'm going to do it. I decided to say, when someone asks me for something at that time, and I'm gonna say no. I cannot do it because I've already planned something. Don't let people manipulate you into changing your mind so it could fit them, so it could fit their schedule, so it could fit what they want to do. Because sometimes, there are things that you are maybe collaborating with other people and you guys agreed on a time and that person didn't keep up with the time and then they went and do something else and then they want to come back to make you quit your things and then so you can come and accommodate them. No, if it's not going to work for you, then say no. Don't say yes because you just want to please people. You have yourself to also please. You scheduled your time already. That time slot is for you. So be assertive enough to say no. It could also be quiet time or whatever else pleases you. Maybe you have a blog or a vlog like this, and you want to work on. So you want to block the time and you don't want to be disturbed, then set it up that way. Block your time and put your phone on silence or turn it off or give it to your child, your partner, your sister, whoever it is, put it in a drawer. Um, Make sure it's put in a way that it will not be disturbing you and go about doing your thing. Self care is definitely key when you're talking about self worth, because it's part of your self worth. It shows that you truly care about you care about yourself when you don't neglect yourself. If you're neglecting yourself, so you don't care about yourself, there's no self worth there. So people are not going to believe you. Um, People you get to teach them, you get to show them, and you get to demonstrate to them how they supposed to be treating you, how they supposed to be taking care of you. When they see you gentle with yourself, they're gonna be gentle with you. But when they see you rough with yourself, they're gonna be rough with you. Don't you see sometimes like I don't know, two sisters, you see one is very gentle. Oh my god, you know, mm, uh, you know, okay. you know, mm, no, yeah. And then another is coming. It's like, gotta get. Mm. So, what are we up to? People are not gonna come in and judge them the same way. They're gonna be gentle with the one that's like, who needs a straw on her drink. They're gonna make sure when they bring her a drink, it's gonna have a straw. But the one who's like acting all rough and tough and stuff, when they give her a drink, they're not gonna care for a straw. If someone tries to put a straw in there, they're gonna be like, oh, she doesn't care. Just give it to her like that. I remember there was this pastor, and do not misunderstand what I'm saying right now, what I'm about to say. It's not because, when you're certain tenure or, certain level, you're not supposed to be humble. But what I'm about to say is going to make sense to what I'm talking about. As far as you treat people, how to take care of you. Okay. Um, Everybody was eating, and I don't remember what happened. Either there was, we went somewhere, either they went somewhere to a village or somewhere that um things were different. Things are not how they used to be or whatever. And the person was just like, one of the members were like, oh, it's no big deal, Pastor so and so, he's cool. Just give it to him on the floor. Like he'll sit on the floor and eat. That didn't sound so good. It's up to the person. You give them the food. And if they realize that, okay, I'm at a village, I'm at a different place, and this is how they do it here, this is just how I'm going to have to do it. But for you to decide to just give it to a pastor on top of it, the person was a bit rude, but I wonder what kind of behavior does the pastor have to make someone um, believe that it's okay to just give them the food. They can sit on the floor to eat, while other people were not sitting on the floor, while other people that were not pastors, were able to find somewhere properly to sit down to eat, but they totally minimize them. And sometimes people misread you too when you're very humble, when you don't try to be too um how can I say it? When you try not to be so much egotistical, I guess. When you try to be very humble, you help, you clean with them, and sometimes people misunderstand you. So I don't know if that was one of the situation, but it was something like that. So definitely be sure to take good care of yourself, do your self-care. Whatever it is, like I said, if it could be every first of the month, you go to your spa, um, with yourself or with friend or friends, and you do what you need to do. Um, Another one is surround and spend time with people who actually love you the way you want to be loved. Those who agree to respect your boundaries and wholehearted, whole, wholeheartedly, um, whatever I was saying, and I just kind of miss it on the word. It was like challenging. It's so funny. Um, yeah, so spend time with people, and I said, with people who just don't just love you, but people who are willing to love you the way you want to be loved. Because a lot of times people want to love you, but they just want to love you the way they want to love you. They don't want to have enough respect to love you the way you want to be loved. So that's definitely important to make sure that the people that surround you are people that can respect your boundary, people that can agree that, okay, this is the way she wants to do it, this is the way he wants to do it, and that's how I'm going to do it. Okay. Lastly, it's not the last one, but this is the last one I'm gonna share with you. I have a lot of them, but this is gonna be part of an ebook. So I would definitely suggest look out for this post. It's gonna be under this post on about how to get the ebook, or should I forget to put it, just reach out, send me a little message, and I'll get back to you. Um, if there's something that bothers you, address it. Anything, if it's your look, do something about it. Like if you feel like you need to tone up, you need to lose some weight, go to the gym, take a walk. Maybe it's your skin, if you have to use makeup, use some makeup. Whatever it is, like for me, I barely really wear makeup. It's much more, I just like kind of touch up. I probably have like more over my eyes than anything else. Um, and I don't have anything crazy. It's just like, I just touch up because it's like with the lighting, sometimes it kind of changes you. So I kind of put the lighting so I can remain myself. So it doesn't make me look way lighter than I want it to be. Or if the lighting is not too bright, or to make me look darker than I am. I want to be recognizable. I don't want to be like you cross me on the street and you're like, that was her. She looks so much like. Although eventually, with life, with the seasons, because right now I'm much. See, I just went lighter because the light just kind of switched. My point is made. Because I was just gonna say, as it just went back. I'm a little bit darker than usual because I did spend a lot of time in the sun. And winter's gonna come and the sun is not gonna be as warm as it was during summertime. So all of a sudden, things are, I will be changing a little bit. A little bit. Okay. So if there's something you'd like to change about you, do so. If there's something you need to change, you always wanted to change, but you just didn't know how today, there's just no excuse. Just do what you need to do. Whatever it is, stop complaining about it, do something about it. Um, Sometimes it could be annoying friends. Or it could be energy vampires at work, energy vampire coworkers of yours. act on it. Do something about it. Don't let it eat you up and you just sit there. Oh my God, yeah, I always wanted to change my job. I wanted to start a business. I wanted to do this. But with everything going on, and no, do something about it. Sometime, of course, we all gonna complain about something. We all gonna say something. We all gonna attempt to um find an excuse elsewhere but in ourselves. But just do what you gotta do. If there's something that needs to be changed, do it. It could be your physical health. Address it because that's important. If you don't have your physical health, it's gonna be hard for you to do your vlog, your blog, to run a mile with yourself or friends. Because sometimes when you go running or walking, it's not only for physical health, sometimes it's also for mental health. Because you get to spend time, you can hear yourself, you can talk to yourself, depends what time you go of the day. um Here's what I do. I usually, like, as you can see my headsets are on. So I would have my headset on, and I just carry on a conversation. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. But it could be sometimes, you forgot to do something. You're like, oh my God, did I leave did I left the oven on? Was it the stove? Did I? Sometimes you just ask yourself these things. Maybe you have to go back or make a phone call. It could be other things like, oh my God, I don't know. Should I sign up for this thing? I'm really tempted. And someone who walks by you, they're just gonna be like, oh, she's on the phone. They're not gonna be thinking like you're trying to make a decision. They're not gonna realize that. You just carry on a conversation and you just ask yourself, you just ask yourself, um, okay, is this gonna work out? Should I you know, how good will this work out? Whatever it is, you know, you just go about it, ask yourself, have a conversation. Maybe you can go, if you have like a tennis court, you could go sit there, or if no one is using it, just do something, your physical health or emotional health. If there's something that bothers you, as I say, address it, improve them because it matters. You need them. um, or it could be other tangible or intangible situations in your life. A crazy relationship that's sucking you dry, children that refuse to grow up, I don't know, or other family members um, that also refuse to grow up, or that are just sucking up the living daylight out of you. So you just do what you need to do because if you don't, you're only going to lose. You're not going to gain anything. Um, if something bothers you, change it. I remember this lady, she was sharing that she never used to have eyebrow. And when she used to see everybody, she's always like, oh my God, look how pretty. And hers just never grew. They just empty. They're just right there. And it used to bother her a lot. And she tries, using pencils or whatever. But no matter what she used, it was never good enough. Excuse me. So she went and she did the what you might call it, the surgical way. She just implanted it. They just, draw it like a tattoo for her. And she was so happy. And she was sharing like she didn't realize she was gonna be that happy. Sometimes when we do things, when we take care of things, we didn't even realize we were gonna be so happy when it got done. Like sometimes in your life, you didn't even realize if someone apologized, or if someone's apology was gonna be so strong, was gonna like set you off to somewhere else, or you didn't realize you needed it that bad. And then when it happened, it was like, wow, did that just happen? So if you know that you need something, you know that there's something that bothers you, there's something that you always wanted to do, and you're like afraid, you're waiting for validation perhaps to get it done. Know that you don't need validation. You can handle this. You can do this on your own. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it. Just handle it. Just do it yourself. And I think I'm gonna stop here because I really, I mean, one, I can't really sit down anymore, and I can't talk anymore. Um, but everything is going to be on the ebook, so just look out for it. And if you want any more information, just let me know. Um, yeah, you know. And lastly, I could say, okay, I'll tell you one more is acknowledge the good and positive in you. Be constructive. You know, stop beating yourself. If you fail history, well, you actually pass calculus, which is something that usually people don't like, people don't enjoy, and people don't pass. So you gotta give credit to yourself instead of trying to tear yourself apart, instead of trying to beat on yourself all the time. Be constructive about yourself, acknowledge the good in you, acknowledge the good that you do, acknowledge the good within your own self. That's important. All right. So that's it. I'm not going to tell you anymore. There are so many more to share with you. But as I say, this is no problem right there. Gots to go. And I'm just unable physically and mentally to continue. But I can't tell you everything anyway. You gotta get the ebook. Okay. Um Let me just make a note. Okay, so I remember where I stopped in case if I want to do it again. But yeah, um I mean, I've shared so many things with you that you can still put in practice as you please, as you find it, as you see fit. So that's pretty much it for today. It's been a pleasure, always seeing you, and even better to hear from you. And there's even another aspect of this, that you get deeper into spirituality and so on and so forth. But again, I need more time to get into it, and tonight is not the time. Thank you for being here. And again, I don't even know if I even introduced myself. I think I went straight into this. This is your Reverend Dr. Marie Breville, your favorite coach, your fabulous coach. Always a pleasure being here with you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. And most of all, I hope you learned something, because that's what's the most important. You could spend the time and watch everything, and if you didn't pick up anything at all, and that's not good. So share it with a friend. And if you didn't pick up anything at all, that's mean you must be my twin. So let me know, because I'm always interested in family. Not that I don't have family, I have so many, but I don't know. I guess we love family so much. I always want to know, like, are you my family? Like my son always says, "Are you my family? Is this my cousin? Is this my auntie and my uncle?" So it's the same for me. I think it's important to know about family because sometimes if they are in a unfortunate situation, you could have stopped and helped them, but because you didn't know that was your family, you just maybe kept driving, or I don't know. So I wish you well. I hope everything works out for you. I hope you find your self-worth, and I hope you find something that works for you in all of the things that I mentioned here. And one more thing I found about self-worth, I mean, it's just they said, I don't know if it's but is that self-worth was known to be in existence, where they used it the first time in 1815, or at least that's when people recognize it was used. Oh my god. So so yeah, I thought that was like that was a cool fun fact to know that it was first used in 1815. So yeah, interesting, right? Anyhow, thank you so much. As I said, look out for the ebook, and for now, take good care. Have some good sleep, and you're probably watching this on your way to work, so be safe. Or if you're at home, enjoy it, and um, listen to it over and over. Because sometimes, to get something, you gotta keep processing it over and over. So that's okay too. You could do that, and have a wonderful night, or a wonderful day, depending where you are. Okay, though. Take good care, and know your self-worth, and keep your self-esteem as high as needed be.